We've reviewed them both separately, both the Bachmann and the AMS, or the other way around. Now let's bring them together and see how they compare. It's actually quite easy to tell them apart. When I first got the Bachmann, I got it out of the box and thought, well, it's a Boxcar, it looks great. And I put it up against my Jackson Sharp coaches, which I'm familiar with seeing a Boxcar at the start of a passenger train, as it's frequently done on the Durango and Silverton. And something was nagging at me. It didn't seem to look quite right, but I thought they've done their research. I'm sure it is right, maybe it's just me. So then later on, when I got the AMS one, I took it out of the box and straight away I could see it was different. It was a bit sleeker in the shape and just lower down on the overall height. So then I put that one up against the Jackson Sharp coach, and that just looked right straight away. I thought, yep, that's how it's meant to be. So as you can see, they are significantly different in their height. So let's look at that first. Down from the rail level, we'll go up to the bottom of the little step, and they're not far off, they're just about in the same line there. Going up to the underside of the deck, and you can see that the Bachmann is riding higher on the trucks. So the overall car is actually sitting higher than it is on the AMS. So then we'll go up to the bottom side of the roof, and you can see Bachmann is significantly higher now. And even when you go up to the top side of the roof on the AMS, it's in line with the bottom side of the roof on the Bachmann. So, yeah, looking across the top as well, it is so much higher, which makes it look so wrong once you've seen the AMS boxcars. So, what went on there? I have no idea. But anyway, let's look at other details. The overall material, the plastic that they've used, slightly different in colour. The Bachmann does look a little bit browner, whereas the AMS is a little bit red, a bit more oxide colour, but they're not too far out. Once they both look weathered up, you wouldn't really notice too much of a difference in the colour. The Bachmann one though does have more of a sheen to it, which gives it away as being made of plastic just more than the AMS one does. Looking on to the decals, they mostly do have the same decals. The quality of them look pretty similar. The d&rgw on the side of the Bachmann does look a little bit more of a slimmer font than it does on the AMS. But otherwise they do look fairly good. Actually, the AMS has got the little lines from where they would have been stenciled, whereas the Bachmann has just solid white block lettering. So that's a little bit of extra detail on the AMS there. Looking at the data down on the sides for the capacity of the boxcar inside, you can see they've got all the details listed, each one. So cubic feet is 1267 on the AMS, and that matches on the Bachmann. Then you've got interior length. This is a 30-foot boxcar, remember, so you'd expect the interior to be, as it says on the AMS, 29 feet and 5 inches. Now on the Bachmann it says 20 feet and 5 inches. So you're missing a few feet there on the inside of the Bachmann. Unless the walls are incredibly thick, I can't see how that could be right. Down the next one, interior width, 7 foot 0 inches. The Bachmann says LW, not IW. So that, as far as I would understand, would be a mistake as well. But then interior height, 6 foot 1 inch, that matches, so that's the same. And overall the AMS does have a few more decals than the Bachmann. So you look at the ends of the car, you can see both ends of the AMS. It's got the d&rgw with the number of the car. Bachmann's only got it at one end. And the AMS has the information for the brake as well, which the Bachmann doesn't. Looking around at more of the features on the car, you can see the door design is slightly different between the two. The Bachmann, the latch on the door only has one little swinging piece on either side of the opening, whereas the latch on the AMS has three parts to it, which is a little bit more complicated, and I'm still going to work out how to work these. And looking at the ends of each car, you can see most of the details are there, although they do vary quite a bit. You can see the hangers on the AMS for the sliding door, whereas they're not there on the Bachmann one. You got just this plain slide rail. So one more test we can do. We can see how they vary acoustically. This one being a bigger box, it does have a different tone to it. So let's look into that more. I think that's it. Yeah, so I think there's about a semitone difference between the two Boxcars, if that's important to you. If not, let's have a look at them running outside. So there you have it, the Accucraft AMS compared with the Bachmann Spectrum. They do differ quite a lot, both quite nice models, but I don't think I'd be rushing to get another Bachmann Spectrum Boxcar if I saw one available. I think the choice for me would always be the AMS from now on, now that I've seen both. I didn't mention price when I did the review of the AMS, so I've got this one for £150. These I got, I think were around about £130, but they were bought from America, so whatever it is in dollars, plus the shipping to the UK, plus the import tax as well, so they were overall more expensive than the Bachmann, but the actual purchase price was a little bit less. Still, I think paying more for these is definitely worth it. But I'm sure the Bachmann would be absolutely fine for a lot of people as well. So that's it. And for more videos, looking at more models and other train stuff, please do that thing and subscribe.